Project to install new alarms at state beaches and parks has been in dispute for more than 2 years.
And that the work is still far from finished. The I-Team's Brian Crandall has the paper trail to report on tonight. Brian?
Oh, Gene Patrice, we've been checking into this situation for months. The project has included a bid protest, court action, missed deadlines, some extra state money, and Rhode Island DEM trying twice to fire the contractor that won the job. And one arm of state government recently finding the state had hired a company that did not have all the necessary licenses at the time it was awarded the job. More than 2 years after a new company got a contract to install and monitor alarm systems at 38 state properties like beaches and parks, the I-Team discovers 9 sites are now complete.
Have you ever seen this level of problems with a contract?
Not really, no.
Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management Director Terry Gray.
It's a headache, but also I'd rather have my park staff doing parks work and not really spending all their time trying to sort through and oversee a contractor. This has gone on way too long.
Documents obtained by the I-Team through a public records request show DEM has filed 2 breach of contract complaints against the company, Security Solutions, and moved to fire it from the job.
What do you think about DEM trying to fire you?
I feel at this point that it's biased in a sense.
Security Solutions is run by former state police trooper Kenneth Marandola Jr.
When I believe it's just unfair. I don't think there's really any substance to the complaints.
And the project's been in dispute from the start. The company that lost out on the 5-year, $115,000 state contract filed a complaint claiming the bid process was not fair.
It should have never been awarded to this company.
Chris Mora at National Security had the DEM alarm contract for years beforehand. He claims Security Solutions did not have the proper credentials for the job. Mora lost his protest in court, but is not letting it go.
Is this just sour grapes between 2 rival companies?
No, not at all. It's if they were the lowest responsive bidder, all is fair. We haven't won every bid. We don't complain about it when it's done fairly.
Security Solutions filed its own court complaint to stop National from removing wires from the DEM buildings. Mora argued the wires belonged to his company. The state agreed to pay Security Solutions an extra $28,500 to resolve the dispute and put in its own wires. But in December 2023, and again last March, DEM filed breach of contract complaints with state purchasing officials against Security Solutions. DEM claimed only 2 buildings had been alarmed at that point, and the work did not meet contract requirements. Firing back, Security Solutions wrote it was the victim of deceit and unwarranted bias from DEM. It argued DEM's bid language had been ambiguous.
Do you think the state was pretty clear, or do you think the state kind of has some room in this to shoulder some of the responsibility?
I thought we were pretty clear.
Last spring, work at one building failed an initial inspection, and state inspectors found only 1 of 4 Security Solutions workers at another site was properly licensed. In June, DEM filed to terminate the company's contract. State purchasing officials have, at varying times, been critical of Security Solutions, but also of National and DEM itself. Security Solutions was given multiple deadlines to finish the job. The last came and went in October 2024, with 8 of 38 sites complete at that time. And last month, DEM moved a second time to fire Security Solutions.
We continue to have performance problems, and we continue to have scheduling problems.
Marandola blames National, arguing it's taking too long to get its systems and wires out before his crews can go in.
Our hands are tied. We have to wait on them.
In its latest attempt to fire Security Solutions, DEM also cites this. In October, based on a complaint from Mora, the state's electrical inspector issued a violation and $1,500 fine to Security Solutions. The inspector found the company did not have one of the licenses necessary to bid on the project in the first place 2 years earlier.
The bid should be terminated. The award should be terminated, reversed.
Security Solutions says it used a subcontractor that does have the right license. Whether that's allowed is another point of dispute.
You don't think you've done anything wrong over the past 2 years?
Not at this time.
Marandola met us with his lawyer.
My client, from day one, has been ready, willing, and able to install these systems. And we have been dealing with National dragging its feet, we believe, and being complicit in this process.
Are you dragging your feet at all
Not at
in
all.
terms of this process because it's been such an acrimonious situation?
No, not at all.
Mora's National Security is still getting paid by the state because its alarms are still in most of the buildings.
This benefits National. Cannot explain why DEM is allowing this to happen, but they are. and National's getting away with it.
Does it benefit you?
I wouldn't think it benefits us because we spent tens of thousands protesting a bid.
And Morris says he offered to remove all the wires in the first month, but was told not to. Now, in its latest filing with state purchasing, DEM says it wants to put the project back out to bid and for Security Solutions to now remove all of its alarm systems from the 9 buildings it has completed. DEM also tells me it's paying each contractor for only the buildings their systems are in, so taxpayers are not paying twice. For the I-Team, I'm Brian Crandall, NBC 10 News.